The way people shop and definitely buy has significantly changed over the past decade. We can say that shopping offline, online is kind of a normality. The funny thing is, if you go on your laptop, if you browse things on your screens, or if you go to the shop, in the end, everything is shopping. However, the customer expectation has changed as well significantly over the past years. It is way more over convenience, it's deals, it's free delivery. I want to go shopping everywhere at any time. So kind of we were thinking, that's true, but there are a couple of things that you miss in an online shop. And in particular, the personal interaction was one of the things that we detected, which is really, really problematic nowadays. The retail industry itself is changing as well. Like a couple of years ago when we started, nobody wanted to hear anything about artificial intelligence. Everybody was telling us like, it's not possible, it doesn't work like that, forget it. However, we kind of experience nowadays, like almost 3 years later, that business intelligence solutions, artificial intelligence in action, as well as instant fashion recognition are topics that are now on the radar of the big companies, and it's kind of like per and per going into the direction, hey, we kind of need to change, even though technology was already there. A lot of companies are doing stuff manually when it comes to products. They're looking at products like physical products every day. It's an army of people who are doing it. It's really, even companies that say that they have computerized systems are still not there yet. So we kind of saw a chance there, and we kind of discovered there is this type of AI revolution, and we want to make part of it. And maybe just quickly to clarify, in particular AI. So AI, everybody is like, yeah, artificial intelligence, that's kind of the umbrella. It's really kind of the umbrella for everything, every technique that enables computer to mimic kind of like human interaction. Then you have the subset of it, which is machine learning, classical machine learning since '55. It's kind of like an old thing. It's about statistical data. Back in the days, processors and things couldn't do it, couldn't do the math yet. So that was why every IT person that we talked to, Marielle and I, in the beginning said, guys, doesn't work, will never work, forget it, forget it, forget it. Luckily, we have Google and Facebook who help us as entrepreneurs a lot, because when they put something out there, and when Mark Zuckerberg 2 years ago kind of said, like, I'm going to do everything with chatbot, everybody heard like, wow, okay, there is something coming, there is something going. So that is actually what we are doing. We are doing deep learning. It's a subset of machine learning, and it's a lot of algorithms. I spare you the details, you can read them anyways. So my question is, if people are here from companies, is the toolkit ready? Is your toolkit as an entrepreneur ready? Are you like really there? Do you really know what you're doing? Because there are a couple of things that we believe through machine learning and deep learning can be done, which the user substantially can benefit from. So maybe I'm going to tell you, because I'm here, about Mon Style. It's the first on-demand personal shopping assistant. It's for fashion. It's for women currently. We're working on a solution for men too, since we kind of noticed that a lot of people tried our bots as well. But I will come to that later. So please, meet Sophie. She's here to assist you. She's here to help you. She's our personal shopping guide, expert, that kind of tries to help you find the right items for you. Sophie, through interactive style quizzes, as well through visual recognition, now in the next 3 months, we kind of learn or get to know our customers, kind of create a profile about you, and then help you find really the stuff that you're looking for and really measure it to your needs. She's simplifying your search. She's helping you to find the right product at the right time for the right occasion. And obviously, she is your ultimate source for fashion inspiration. So she will provide you with street style pictures, she will provide you with the latest trends, with outfit recommendations and all that. The interesting part about it is that she's evolving with every interaction that you make. So everything that you make, every interaction, if you like a product, if you buy a product, everything is like put into the system. We kind of get to know your preferences better, and in the end, we hope that we fully get you as a whole. The interesting thing about it, Sophie is not a stylist, it's not a human, it's a machine. A multifaceted machine that basically comprises fashion know-how together with deep learning to provide you with a very personal service. So as you can see, these are all the puzzle pieces that we kind of put into Sophie. It's fashion expertise. Marielle was sitting, I think, for 1.5 years to get the profile rights to elaborate the complete fashion logic, which is an Excel file, which is 500 megabytes. I don't know if people are working still with Excel. 500 megabytes is quite a lot. You open it, it breaks down every time. Yes, that's basically just the logic. And that is not kind of like super many graphics or stuff like that in there. No, it's no pictures, it's only text and mathematical models of which item, how long are the sleeves, how long is the dress, how long does that do? Is it on the shoulder covered? Is it not on the shoulder covers? I think the ladies in the room kind of know what a dress can look like and how many different possibilities a dress can have. And yeah, we kind of tried to get that as a whole. It was not that easy. Well, we have a conversational agent. I already talked about Sophie. Sophie came not straight from the beginning. She only came like 2 years ago. We kind of developed it. When nobody was speaking about chatbots or something like that, we were like, okay, how can we do a dialogue system? It's at the moment a guided system. So we are implementing, because that's a question that I get a lot at those events. It's kind of like, yeah, we need NLP, we need NLU for our services. That's definitely like new keywords, new buzzwords. And I had a great talk with one of the founders of Oratio here in Berlin a couple of months ago, where we were asked, does every bot need artificial intelligence? Quite simple, no. A lot of things can be done through guided flow, through dialogue systems. Just go for it. It's really the better way to go, in particular in the beginning, because one thing that you really don't want is that your bot goes sideways. But I'm going to come to that later as well. We built our recommender system. That was one of the things that we started in the beginning with. The problem was, back in the days, we tried to actually use a lot of open solutions, kind of like predictive I/O or other systems. They unfortunately failed. Like it always depending on the data, it was always depending on other things where we discovered bottlenecks. So we developed our entire system in-house. It's a very stony road, not the easiest path, but in the end, we think we benefit that we walk this path. We have discovered now at the moment over 1 million different style types. These are all the combinations of ladies that we have. Like again, it's a super, super complex product because style is not something very easy to grasp. We have, that number is really outdated. We have almost 20 million products right now in our database. We're working with 350 of the major online stores. We do everything from product detection until the recommendation. So again, visual recognition together with text recognition, multimodal search. Again, a couple of buzzwords to pop in, but these are the key technologies that we need for. Deep learning, computer vision, machine learning. Again, what I just said, it's basically those words are just it's a subset of it. Maybe a little bit about KPIs, because that's something funny that normally startups don't share. We kind of want to share it because it's good as well for chatbot users or chatbot developers to kind of understand what it is. So we started with a very limited, small amount of group of people. We had 5,000 people in our system. That was mainly to see if we get the profile of the ladies right. The nice thing was we have an accuracy with 5,000 users of 98%. So people were really happy about their profile. If not, if somebody's in the room who tried the service who is not happy, please tell me now. I'm always open for feedback. Then obviously we started our Facebook pilot. We just left it online for 5 weeks. It's still running, but we didn't further develop it at the moment. We got over 30,000 users in the first 5 weeks. So it's a very impressive tool to kind of get users to learn about the product, to know we had there millions of really funny experiences. One funny, I can say, like a lot of people, because it was said about human and interacting like a human, a lot of people asked Sophie for dates. We were really, really, really impressed by that. You don't want to know, like really, like, hey, can we meet there and there, and can we do that and that? So we said, wow, we did something right. At least the experience felt naturally. But that is really one of the funny things. Then the other thing is not so funny. Facebook Messenger has its tricks. It's not an open platform, even though they say it's an open platform. You can put in your API, you can put in your bot, but you have actually no whatsoever, let's say, power over the design. It's really hard for making their changes, so user experience is actually quite problematic. It depends on which Messenger that people have on the phone. I mean, in Facebook you have 3 ways how to interact with a bot. You can go through your normal messages, you can go with the second messages, and you can go through the messenger itself. In the messenger, visualization, displaying is quite okay, I have to say. It's not great, but you can live with it. In the messenger, at a certain point, we because we're a guided structure, so you have to, as in school, like tick all your multiple choice answers. Gets problematic if the user doesn't see the box and starts typing wild messages in there, and at a certain point you have all those beautiful words that people don't actually say to other people because the bot just doesn't work. And you're sitting there with a face long like that, and you're like, but just try it like that, and you give already guided tour in it. You kind of open, you make your little help menu in it, like, okay, if you get stuck, then just type that and that. Doesn't work. Like people, it's really hard for them. They don't have the time, they don't want to take the time, but these are things that, yeah, you have to really bear in mind when developing something like that. And as well, this number is, well, before the summer, we are currently at over 100,000 users who actually used our product. The interesting fact is we have a 10 to 12.5% retention, whatever that means. It's really funny, but it's really good that the users come back. They like the system. We have a couple of heavy users. The average user, as I already stated here, average session is like 12 to 14 minutes, which is actually quite a long engagement, which kind of as well gets on the radar of investors and things like that. But you have to monetize, obviously. We didn't put any marketing in, so at least that's something good that we can say. However, the 12-minute average session is nice. Much cooler is that we have users that use it 4 hours, 4.5 hours, 5 hours through. And that is then something where you can see, okay, if we manage the stickiness right, if we get the user experience better, if we kind of implement certain automated features, maybe the thing can fly. So, what are we doing? Like, we are not only a B2C product, we are actually as well a B2B product. As you can see, we have a unique value for our customer. It's like so nice buzzwords again. So it's about personal interaction, it's about personal profiles, personal advice, and personal recommendation. Sounds all fun, sounds all nice. The question is, though, you need to provide something like that for your customers. Customers don't want the easy experience anymore. They want to be flattered to a certain extent. And what we kind of wanted to build is, back in the really nice days in the 90s, when I was a kid, you would go to a shop. There was a nice shop assistant in there. He would look at you and he would say, hey, that fits to you, that fits to you. And actually, you went outside and the things fit. You were in fashion, you were in trend, you were in everything. Nowadays, if you go to not only to an online shop, but if you go to a normal store, we have kind of a big problem. There are students sitting in there who have a lot of other things better to do than standing in there. And they look at you and they're kind of like, yeah, das schwarze Jackett, das passt schon. So you're standing there and all of a sudden you have something with sleeves until here, you have something there, and it's not really that what you want. So what we said as well is, again, online shopping, wow, you're completely lost. Type in one of the big online shops, I'm looking for a black dress. You're going to find about 5 million products, everything thrown at you, nothing really in comparison what can be. It's not in your budget, it's not there. Maybe not even maintainable, maybe not even deliverable to the place that you are. So what we wanted to do is like make that all a bit slimmer, make that all a bit sleeker, and kind of give you this little extra touch that you come and you say like, okay, maybe it's not a human that I talk to, but it's something else that is actually helping me, so it's quite cool. So, interesting, and as always interesting, what are you doing in visual recognition? That's as well a question that we always get. We have an image recognition service, we have a unification normalization, and then automation and quality control. So what does that mean? Image recognition is, we get 20 million products, as I already told you. We get it through the data stream, it comes into in-house, so you have 20 million products. What do you do with them? You have text description and you have an image. Maybe you have 5 images if you're lucky. So basically what you have to understand is that we have this mapping logic, which I mentioned before. So we have to kind of bring that together. So we have to understand what is on the picture, what is in there, what can we do with that, and then match it to what we have created in-house. So that's, on the one hand, the entire visual recognition that we do. That's kind of just understanding basic clothing items and the descriptions. Unification, normalization, you get data feeds of 350 online shops, 350 online shops go to 350 different supermarkets. You're going to be there like, wow, maybe 1 and 2, the assortment is the same, but a lot of things are not the same. So that's, again, a huge problem of the industry. You have different languages, you have different image sizes, you have different quality of the data in the same company's feeds. Like, so at a certain point, you have then 20 million products, you have to kind of deduplicate the entire process, you have to find the products that are matching, so you kind of have to unify your data, otherwise it doesn't work. So that was the first step that we did. We built an entire image processing server to just do that. And automation and quality assurance of catalogs, it's basically, this was an add-on. It's kind of working. You have a picture, you want a description. Maybe we managed to do that at a certain point. So that's something we're working on currently as well. So visual recognition, I don't know how familiar you are. That's why I brought you this beautiful picture of stuff that we are doing at the moment. You have to classify. You have to classify what it is, basically. You have to classify and actually find out where the product is sitting. So obviously, at the head, you won't find the dress. So that is one thing that you have to do. Then you have the object detection, and then you do the instant segmentation to take the picture out for indexing and other purposes. What are we really doing at the moment? At the moment, we're doing fun stuff that's really out of our database. It's actually object and human pose detection. So we kind of try to find out when we see a picture. So where are the lines? What do we have here? Okay, this is the knee to hip ratio. So that could be a hip. That could be the under leg. This is the ankle. To find out, because again, ladies know, dress can have sleeves up till here, 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 here. You need to know when you find a picture, in particular when you go in similarities, when you find similar pictures and stuff like that. So that is basically what we're doing, what we were working. We're doing it on single images, but we're doing it as well on multiple images with multiple people in it and multiple objects. Our unique recommender system, obviously one of the centerpieces that we have been working on. It's domain-specific recommendation engines. This is for fashion, obviously, because we're doing that. We have agile recommender systems that can be implemented actually at any company. The thing is, we need domain know-how, so we would have to work with domain experts to kind of make the entire process better. And it's about feature engineering, so automated product suggestions from unstructured content, which we are dealing every day with. That's an interesting thing, because that's the good thing, you don't see whose company that is. That is one of the large retailers. And why did I bring it to you guys? Because basically you have here, we were looking for red dresses. And obviously when you have red dresses, you want to see red dresses. There is this beautiful thing in text searches, which is that the problem of the textual data, that it comes unstructured and often not right labels. So you would assume, hey, why don't see red? Maybe there is a little bit of red, so this kind of could still come in there because it has 20% red in it. This has no red in it, this has no red in it. And you can see it's it's just recognizing the text name. And that's why a lot of searches go wrong on big style. This is our system, and you can see a lot of red, and we are actually super happy and proud about it. We kind of managed, even though that you see one blue and there another one, to actually get the entire full spectrum of red just without textual search. This is not image yet. So with image, we believe that we can now, and that is our multimodal approach, combining visual recognition together with text recognition. And we kind of believe that even there, where we have an accuracy now, I think at 94% or 95%, we can even get those last 4 or 5 items out. And we are actually very proud of that. Well, what do you need? You need to combine artificial intelligence with human intelligence. So I'm going to quickly talk about Marielle, who is my CEO and my co-founder. We did it together. It was a very stony road. It was actually quite difficult at times, but you just go on and you continue. It's Matthias, who is definitely the brain behind the entire computational stuff. He is 15 years self-taught machine learner, so he's only 30 years old, so half of his life he was doing it. I think not a lot of people can say that. But some. But no, he's really brilliant when it comes to technology, and in particular with deep learning. I think he's reading at the moment 10 papers a week, and he's understanding them, where the maths is really something that I've never seen. There are symbols that don't appear to me, and I did maths back in the day. So John is a front-end developer. We have another front-end developer who is helping us to kind of implement and bend our user experience. Alexander is in charge of NLP and NLU. We have a graphic designer. 2 people started yesterday. Another one is starting now in mid-October. We are currently enlarging our team. So if you want to leave your job, want to work in a super fun environment, hey, we have a nice office in the 3rd district, okay, right at Stadtpark. Maybe quite interesting. We work together with the Technical University on a research project it was a small Innovationscheck, but it was nonetheless with Thomas Liddy. You might know him from the AI convention. He was the organizer. We kind of tested different CNNs and RNNs and looked at performance. If we should do, again, our entire own system, or if we use transfer learning. We are currently working in a corporate research funding project with Catalyst from Linz, one of the leading software development companies. We have on Thursday another meeting, which is going to be fun, because we're going to show our first findings. It's in the area, really strictly in the area of natural language processing and natural language understanding. We got the FFK, the research, well, I already showed. This is basically that. We're double funded by the Wirtschaftsagentur Vienna, 3 times actually, and we're very happy to be part of them. They're great. Just a little side note, had to make. And if I can answer any of your questions, I would be very happy now.
All right, thank you, Stephan.
Time-wise?
Well, time for one question, if it's a quick one. There's one. Wait.
I hope it's not too specific. I was wondering about the unification of the textual descriptions of the dresses and clothes.
Yeah.
Do you do that by hand, or do you also match the text by an algorithm? And how do you decide which of the 2 descriptions is the one you want to display?
Pardon, just like which of the 1 descriptions? You mean dress or
assuming you have one dress that's offered by 2 or 3 companies that have a different description of that dress.
Oh, yeah, well, that is obviously, you have a fall through, like you have a certain percentage that you manually look over, but I think 96% of the thing is completely done automatically, categorized automatically. The thing is, in the feeds, you can sometimes, like you can see it very often, and the good thing is when it comes to clothing, it's not so far apart. So it's still a dress, but when it comes, for instance, to jeans, when you have skinny jeans, bootcut jeans, or something like that, there it becomes a bit more tricky. And that's where you have, like, the main categories you can very nice pin down, but certain ones are a bit harder then. Sure. I think I'm not allowed to, but...
And the other 4%?
The other 4% we look manually over, and it's significantly small, and you can do it relatively quick because we kind of are trained to be mechanical Turks. We did that in the beginning, obviously, because you need to prepare your data set. But it's getting better and better, so even the longer it goes, and in particular text and vision together, works great.
Are you renting your engine?
If we are like licensing it to other people?
Yeah.
Right now, at the moment, not. We have a couple of people who are interested in it right at the moment, but at the moment, we don't feel yet ready to kind of openly license it. We don't want to have, we want to do it only once it's really good, like once it's significantly, like 98, 99%. And we think that we can manage to get there.
All right, Stephan, I'm sorry you have to come to an end, but
super.
If you're available for talks later on, the breakdown cells outside,
Please.
people can approach you for sure, right?
Yeah, I would be happy.
Great. Thank you very much. Give it up for Stephan. Thank you.